Ladies and gentlemen, CocoSports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room, and of course, I am the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from Richmond, Virginia. And wow, Wednesday nights, man. Our Wednesday nights are now booked with Coco and I. And so we got a big mountain, so we're gonna have to chop this tree down. So one little swing at a time. So let's get right down and dirty with it. We got NXT, and of course I'm gonna ask you the question that I ask at the beginning of every show that we ever review, and that is win, loss, or tie. Did you give tonight's show a win, a loss, or a tie? And be sure to let us know why right down here in the comment section. I'll also be taking your questions as well as your comments. Me looking at this show, I'm going to give tonight's show, I'm going to give it a win. I'm going to give it a win. I'll be one of the first to admit that NXT, sometimes when they're not building up to like their special events, takeovers, if they're not, if it's not an actual NXT takeover, then yeah, those shows tend to drag. I know they're recorded, weeks in advance. But tonight, it just really didn't feel that way, and I felt like, okay, this is a step in the right direction. So this definitely wasn't bland, and what I liked about this show was the fact that they had booked some stuff where on paper, just looking at it, you were like, okay, this is a squash match, so-and-so is going to win, blah, blah, blah. It's going to go like 3 minutes, and you're like, no, they actually fooled me there for a second to almost convince me that the other guy was going to win, and plus the matches were pretty decent. Well, first things first, the first match was Tyler Breeze versus Adam Rose. Not a bad opening match. I mean, there was a reason for this. Adam Rose and Tyler Breeze were tag team partners a few weeks ago. Breeze wound up super kicking his partner at the end of the match, so this sets up a conflict. And say what you want about Adam Rose. Adam Rose is fucking over in NXT. He is, the crowd still loves him. It was a little bit of, booking-wise, it made sense, but with how these guys are, I know that NXT is its own little entity, because I know that Justin Gabriel, when he was up on the main roster, when he actually did get to wrestle, he was a good guy, but when he wrestled with Tyson Kidd on NXT, he was a heel. So I can buy a little bit that Adam Rose is a heel on the main roster. When he comes back to NXT, he's a face. I can buy that a little bit, and it did make, for a pretty good match. They had Adam Rose. This guy's not dead yet. A lot of people thought his career was DOA. They thought, there's not much left for him, and I know he's shaking up things a little bit over on Raw, but tonight, man, he shows that he can still fucking go. And Tyler, some people criticize that Tyler Breeze looked like a chump because, he should be, and he should be a focus of NXT, but he still kept the heat because he's a bad guy. And Rose still looking good. People were chanting the we want Kruger chants. And to be honest, I think anything for Adam Rose would be good, just anything. I feel like WWE completely dropped the ball with Adam Rose. I mean, they could have capitalized so much off of that ESPN 360, maybe retooled it, jumped on there, but for whatever reason, they just haven't. The most they've ever done was they fired the Rosebuds, and they have him making out with Rosa Mendez, and that's about as far as that gimmick's gone. Now, granted, they're still in the middle of it. Maybe big changes are coming, but this is WWE, and let's just face it. As Dave Coco says, WWE is not in the business of being awesome. But anyway, to the match itself, I thought this was going to be like a 3-minute squash match. No, Adam Rose got a ton of offense in. This went to the outside. He did that Mick Foley elbow drop, and by the way, that spine buster he does look as good as he says it is. That was my favorite spot in the match. Breeze escaped a suplex and was coming off the ropes. He ran right into a spine buster for 2, and as he went to kick out, Adam Rose hung on to him, turned him over, and locked him down in a Boston Crab. I thought, oh God, maybe Brees is going to tap, but eventually he got to the ropes. It looked like Adam Rose was firing up to finish him off, maybe with the party foul, maybe with the clothesline, but as soon as he came off the ropes, he walked right into the beauty shot, and Tyler Breeze got the pin and the win. I think that this was there was some criticism about this I've seen online, but to be honest, I think it was a great match. I think it was definitely a great opening match. It really flipped the script. If you would have said, okay, Tyler Breeze versus Adam Rose, okay, I would have said 3-minute squash match. Tyler Breeze dominates. No, Tyler Breeze took a licking and kept on ticking, and Adam Rose got a fair share of offense in. So I think that looked amazing. Next, let's see here. Dana Brooke, she's going to be out for a while competing at the Arnold Schwarzenegger physique competition. She was in Brazil. I think she's going to Spain next. I think they pointed out that she's going to be out competing. And in a way, I'm like, well, if you don't have anything for right now or any decent opponents, yeah, it's good to keep her off. And plus, you get to, take your girl, promenade her out there, spread the word about WWE, about NXT. So, I guess I don't have a problem with it. Then next, Greg Hamilton introduced Ava Marie. Oh my God, this girl got fucking booed out the fucking building, man. People fucking hate her. They mentioned about, she was, been watching, and she had, realized that, that the women stole the show, and that, she's, here to change things. She's, it's going to be, she wants to be part of the revolutionary women's division. People started chanting, "You can't wrestle." And I don't know. I mean, you could tell like she had her pre-scripted promo ready to go, and just the crowd was just putting. She let it get to her. She let the crowd take over. I mean, she's just smiling and laughing. Anytime somebody just sits there and laughs in the middle of an argument, you know that they're fucking stalling for time, trying to come up with some kind of retort or trying to get their bearings back. Because I think she knew she wasn't going to be welcomed, at least not by the NXT crowd. But I don't think she had any indication that she would be booed like that. I'm not going to give up on Ava Marie. Yeah, I know. Everybody just, whatever they're drinking, the internet infantry, they just spit it out all over their computer monitor right now. I know that just happened. No, I'm not going to give up on Ava Marie. Yes, I've been critical of Ava Marie, of her performance or lack thereof on Raw. I absolutely couldn't stand her on Total Divas. And for the record, my wife likes that show, not me. And yes, sometimes, and I do stress sometimes, not all the time, I'll watch it with her, because why not? Because she's got questions about the wrestling and about who's doing what and what's really happening, because she knows that this is behind and I'm watching everything on the up and up. So, yes. But I did see there was a small video that was put out. It showed her working with Brian Kendrick. And to be honest, with that little clip that I did see, and I do stress it was a short clip, she was doing, I think it was like a couple of minutes. She was working quite well with Brian Kendrick. So who knows? Maybe they'll turn things around. I really felt like if she wasn't so heavily scripted, I think she could have maybe, turned it around. I think what she could have done was, you know what, the "you can't wrestle," you know what, I'm sick of hearing that. When I had to have my surgery, and you can make reference to Total Divas, she actually did have to go get surgery because one of her breast implants was leaking. No, I'm not making that up. I started thinking about my career, and I started thinking about the chance, and I got tired of just being overlooked. I got tired of the constant criticism from you people, and I said right there in my hospital bed, this is a fresh start for me, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to change everyone's opinion. I'm going to make everyone respect me. So as soon as I got better, I got into the gym. I started working with the trainers, and I started working harder and training harder. And every time I wanted to give up, I started thinking about you people telling me how I couldn't, how I can't wrestle, how I don't deserve to be here, and it pushed me just that much harder. And I'm going to prove each and every one of you wrong. I'm going to come in here in the Divas division, and I'm going to jump aboard the Revolution, and I'm going to be the champion. I'm going to prove, and I'm going to shock the world. I mean, I think she could have got some more respect doing that, but instead it was just like, okay, I'm going to let you finish booing me. All right. Well, I came here for the competition. The women's are like really revolutionary here, and I'm going to jump on board. Okay, yeah. I really felt like WWE and Ava Marie dropped the ball on that. I mean, you could have capitalized on so much. I think Ava Marie would work better if she had a manager, just somebody. It could be like a mentor. It could be another one of the divas, or it could be like a man that they're trying to break in to be a good manager. I really think she could benefit from that. And wow, I just talked like for 5 minutes about Ava Marie. My street credibility just went down. And I said credibility and not cred, so it went down even more. Next, William Regal made a major announcement about the NXT Championship. There is going to be a show on July the 4th. Why the hell WWE does live events or anything in Tokyo, Japan on July the 4th instead of anywhere in America? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad decision. I'm just saying of all the times that you want to run something in the US of A, it would be July 4th. But Dave will keep telling you that if you're WWE and you come over to Japan, by God, you're going to have to work that crowd. I mean, you're going to have to get. I mean, you're really going to have to work because the crowd will just walk out. The crowd will just ask for refunds, and they don't put up with it because I mean they've got tons of good wrestling there in Japan. They got New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah. They've got a lot of stuff in Okinawa. They've got Dragon Gate. They've got a lot of stuff out there. They've got their own material out there, and then you got Japan Sports or whatever Japan's version of ESPN. You know, they're contractually obligated to go out there, and they're going to have to show out. And so they've announced that they're going to, you know, they'll bring the Lucha Dragons out there. They'll bring Paige out there. Okay. Well, they're also going to bring out Brock Lesnar, which is huge. I mean, they're going to make him work a house show, so that's huge. They're going to bring out Chris Jericho, and well, Dave doesn't like him now, but Japan loves Chris Jericho, so why not? I mean, you're really going to have to impress. And now they said, you know, well, NXT, do you want a presence there? It's like, oh, and William Regal said yes. So live, you know, on July the 4th, it'll be the champion Kevin Owens defending against the #1 contender Finn Balor in Tokyo, Japan, and I was like, wow. I mean, that totally makes sense. I mean, Balor is going to be another huge draw because he made his huge name for himself in New Japan as Prince Devitt. I mean, if you've seen his work in New Japan, it was absolutely phenomenal. And the crowd's going to know who he is. They're going to be glad to see him come home and check out. So it's good to see WWE is going balls to the wall for Japan because otherwise it would be pretty shitty. Now, they're saying, oh, we're going to stream this live. I don't think they're going to stream that shit live. Well, I mean, they can because they've got the WWE Network. But I think they're going to have to stream it at, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning because there's like a 13-hour time difference between here in Japan, or maybe 14 or 15, depending on what part of the U.S. you live in. I don't think, well, I mean, they could stream it live. I just don't know what the numbers will be. And they'll definitely have to offer replays. Because with the NXT Championship match, and I thought, well, maybe that's going to be like their special event. Well, that's not necessarily the case. July the 4th will be a Saturday, and they're not going to do NXT, at least in my opinion. They probably won't do a takeover or anything like that from Japan on a Saturday, or even do like the event and then have that one via satellite. You can't do that. So I think it's just going to be. I think they're going to do what they did with King of the Ring. It's just going to be a few little things here and there, special for the WWE Network. Maybe try to buy a few more subscriptions, but hey, just hang on to it, and they'll give it away next. They'll give away the WWE Network next month for free because all successful companies do that, right? They just give away their product every other month for free. All right, back to the show. We saw a women's match, Carmella accompanied by Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy taking on Alexa Bliss. She was accompanied by the NXT Tag Team Champions, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. This match, I will say, was better than the match that they had I think it was right around 6 weeks ago. They had a match, and it was just a clusterfuck. It was disjointed. It felt like they were just literally going from spot to spot to spot. Okay, this is part A of the match. Let's do that. Okay, now we've finished that. Now let's go to part B of the match. Let's do that. This one, it felt a little bit smoother. I mean, it wasn't phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination, but it was better, and that's what those ladies are there for. They're there to get better. If this was like TNA or Ring of Honor, I'd shit all over it. But this is NXT, and they straight up say, "Look, this is developmental. This is what these people are here for." So I will say I've seen from that match to this match, I've seen a lot of improvement. So that's a good. It just shows me that these women are on the right track. With that being said, I still think it could have been better. Enzo and Cass, they look completely disinterested, like they didn't want to be out there. I don't know if that just goes along with the character, or they just knew, like, okay, we're gonna have to walk out here with her. Alexa Bliss, I will say this: damn, she's done a good job turning heel. I didn't know she could cut it because she had the Princess Elsa gimmick, and now she's just going full blown heel. I think she's fitting a little bit better in that role than the face role. And then, of course, the tag team champions, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, looking good out there. I think they're playing the roles quite well. I mean, technically, they're not the soundest tag team, but they're getting there. A lot of big things coming from this, and I will give props to NXT, and I will give props to Carmella because she was actually getting cheered. She was actually getting cheered. I mean, a woman who, it doesn't matter who she was hanging out with, Marie and Cassidy. She was constantly getting booed. And I thought, okay, they're going to use this as excuses she can't get over. They're going to use this as an excuse to turn her heel and have her team up with Blake and Murphy. No. NXT took a different route. They at least had it set up where they were going to come at you from one place and they hit you from behind from a totally different angle. So it looked so props to Carmella for working her ass off, and props to WWE and NXT booking for at least making her a more sympathetic character and putting her to where people are, I guess they got it to where they hate Blake and Murphy more, and they don't want to see, and they like Enzo and Cass, and I think it's just absolutely just wonderful what they've done. Next here, Sami Zayn getting surgery back in my old stomping grounds of Birmingham, orthopedic surgery. I've heard before I came on here that Zayn may not be back till about October, which is, when you think about it, it's not that bad. So I thought he was going to be out for the rest of the year like Hideo Itami, but no, it's looking like he's going to be back. So get well soon to Sami Zayn. Next, in a tag team match, we saw Jason Jordan, apparently his tag team partner that he was talking about last week, Marcus Louis. Man, we hadn't seen it in a few months. Ever since Enzo and Cass beat the Legionnaires and Marcus Louis ended up getting his head shaved. He tried like a little bit of a Phantom of the Opera gimmick where he was kind of stalking around the NXT arena around in Full Sail University and then just walked out. Kind of good to see him back. He looked like a fucking miniature corporate Kane. So I guess Kane's getting ready to retire, and they're grooming Marcus Louis to fill that spot because that's what he looked like. He had a completely bald head, pasty white, and he was wearing black dress slacks with dress shoes. So there you go, miniature corporate Kane. And the return of the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch. Man, it was great to see them back. Pretty good match for what it was. Marcus Louis, in my opinion, stole the match. I mean, he was just constantly contorting his face around, acting crazy, making all kinds of weird noises. Maybe they're going to give him a crazy man gimmick. I don't know where they're going with them on this, but I'm interested to see, or maybe this is just a one-off, and this is the story. The real storyline is going to be Jason Jordan looking for that perfect tag team partner. Maybe Chad Gable, since they teased it last week. Maybe they'll make it like he should have taken up Chad Gable, and their gimmick will be two great amateur wrestlers, teaming up to take the tag team division by storm. I like this because the tag team division desperately needs another face tag team. I mean, right now all you've got is Enzo and Cass, and that is it. I mean, that's it. That's your only face tag team. So Jason Jordan teaming up with pretty much anybody, as long as their faces would really be a shot in the arm at the tag division. And like I sound like a broken record because I say this every week. I believe the tag team division is the weakest division right now in NXT, and it needs to be fixed. And I think tonight just showed that maybe they're getting ready to perform a little surgery there and give it a shot in the arm, and I really hope so. And the Vaudevillains, great to see them back, looking heelish as ever. Aiden English growing the full Van Dyke beard. I like their finishing maneuver, the whirling dervish, for the win. Then we got to our main event, Finn Balor versus Rhyno. No, not bad at all. I mean, they have to promote Finn Balor. I don't think Balor was their first choice to be #1 contender, but they're making it work. And Rhyno, pretty good. It was a pretty good match. You had Rhyno. I guess this is what I kind of don't like about NXT, is you had Rhyno comes in. He's kind of a face. He goes in this match against Baron Corbin, and Corbin turns heel by default. And now you bring, now that you've pretty much established that Rhyno is a face, he's training some of these younger guys, and now he goes in this match against Finn Balor, and then starts acting like a heel. People can go, oh, well, he's a tweener. No. If you're a tweener, you're a fucking tweener. You don't act like a fucking face 1 minute and then turn around and act like a heel the next. Other than that, because you had Rhyno mocking Finn Balor with his little throwing his arms up to the mat. Balor hit missed a reverse DDT and hit the spine buster, almost got a near fall. Balor surprised Rhyno with a Pele kick, hits the sling blade, can't follow up. It looked like Rhyno was going to hit the Gore, but Balor moved out of the way, schoolboyed Rhyno and got the win. Finn Balor gets the win, goes up to the match, and he's celebrating, and then just takes a huge Gore out of nowhere. And it leaves Balor laying, and that's how they go off the air. So all in all, a pretty good match, a pretty good show altogether. Granted, there was only like 4 matches, but I think it's better than what anything Raw's putting out right now. If you want to check it out, I would suggest you go for it. If you're an NXT fan, the Adam Rose versus Tyler Breeze match is surprisingly good. If you want to hear Carmella actually get cheered, and Alexa Bliss had in my opinion, she had the line of the night. Alexa Bliss had Carmella locked down it was a rest hold. I think it was like a chin lock or something, or like kind of like a variation of of like an abdominal stretch, and the crowd's clamping, stomping their feet, trying to get Carmella, and Alexa Bliss just looks out the crowd and goes, that never works. So if you actually want to see Carmella get cheered for once in your life, go check it out. Alexa Bliss, I think, is doing a great job since her heel turn. The tag team match is worth watching, if nothing else, to see Marcus Louis and the return of the Vaudevillains. And then the main event, it's so-so, but it works. So I really have no complaints about it. Just a lot of action coming out now on Wednesday. It went from being like one of the worst nights to have off to now the best night being off with my job. But now Dave and I have combined 4 shows to review. So I will tell you right now, just be sure to watch it. We got tons of stuff. I think Dave's got a Lucha Underground review coming out. Of course, I just did NXT. One of us is going to have to do Ring of Honor. The other is going to have to do TNA. And then I still got to do SmackDown. So, damn, that's 5 shows. Damn, we're going to be busy. We're putting everything out on Wednesday night. Real quick, let's get to some comments here. Mr. Jason 916. Oh my God, Japan Super Show July 4th will be awesome. Balor will beat Owens and win the championship where he began in Japan as Prince Devitt. That's a good possibility. From what I understand, they're going to call up Kevin Owens. I think he's got the fastest tenure of anybody in NXT. I don't think anybody's been called up this quick. I guess it just things happen to work out in his favor. He gets called up and I think he was just going to do a one-off match with John Cena, maybe get the return, and that was it. But no, they're with Rusev getting hurt with that ankle injury. It looks like he's going up, and I'm interested to see how they handle the NXT title situation. And then he says, when is Nation date. When does he debut? Well, your guess is as good as mine. I have not heard one thing about it. I have not heard what. I don't even heard what name he's going to go under. I don't know what name he's going to go under, and I haven't heard anything. So just be like me and just keep reading the dirt sheets. Keep tuned to cocosports.com for all the latest news and information there. We got some updates there posted daily. And I think that's going to do it, actually. So stay tuned here at cocosports.com. Be sure to like us, subscribe to us here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We got a lot more shows coming out today, so be sure to get ready because we're going to be busy. Yeah, you think it's hard watching it, listening to it? Dude, we got to watch it and analyze it. Great. So this is going to do it for me and for my partner, Dave Coco. I am over.